Good morning, guys. How we going? Welcome to another live chat. Sorry we missed out. I think last week I was kind of busy getting the house ready for the baby, but we are back now and going to talk to Emerson today. So right there he is. Here we go. Yo, hello. How are you going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good, good, good. Long time no hear or see.
Yeah, well, I've been seeing your stuff all online and everything like that, but
Yeah,
no talk yet.
nah,
So,
yeah, man. So how's life? Life's good.
but really good. Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit rainy here, and I live in Delta, which is just outside of Vancouver, Canada, and
Oh, nice.
it's nice. Yeah, just prepping for Halloween. Did some pumpkin carving with my kids and my dad this morning, and yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I was in like Victoria Island about good like 10 years ago now, and I
Yeah,
was there this time of year, and Halloween's pretty cool there. Right? It's so different Halloween there and here, because New Zealand we starting to do it, but it's not as big as over in where
yeah.
you guys are.
Is that because it's what's it like right now? Is it getting really warm right now, or
Yeah,
is it?
it's getting you know what Wellington's like. It's warm, but it's raining and it's wet
Yeah,
and it's windy.
yeah, yeah.
No, but it's been pretty good. Anyway, you want to give us a quick intro
Sure.
of who you are, man? Oh, camera. There
Um,
you go.
My name is Emerson Ziffel, and I am a makeup effects artist, fabricator, sculptor, longtime filmmaker. I like making things, and I like working with creative people. And I have some history working at Weta, which was amazing. I got to work on Krampus about, I think, 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
crazy long time ago.
yeah.
And I supervise at a makeup effects shop called Lindella Schminken Effects out here in Burnaby, which is just outside of Vancouver. And yeah, I just fill my days being creative and working with creative people, and I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's the best part.
Hmm.
Is I remember like seeing you working on the massive Krampus costume, cutting foam to fill out the back of it. That was pretty epic. That was a cool film that we got to work on. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was unexpected for me because I didn't really know what I was getting into when I
Yeah,
went down to it, but very honored and grateful for the experience. It was certainly life changing, and getting to work with everybody there was a real treat because you guys are just like the most chill, amazing, talented people that I've had the opportunity to work with, and very tenacious. I like getting
yeah.
stuff done and being very creative about it.
Oh
So
yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely it can be chill, it can be hectic at the same time, which is quite
yeah, yeah.
quite
Certainly a chill attitude, and then
yeah,
it's like, all right, let's hunker down, let's get this done,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it always seems to work out. So yeah,
yeah,
it's
man.
amazing.
So how did you find your way to Weta anyway?
Oh, that's a crazy story.
Mm,
I don't know if it's crazy. It's all like
mm,
happenstance and
yeah,
serendipity, but it's
yeah,
let's see if I can tell this in a fairly tight way. I did a movie called Wolf Cop. That's probably one of the things that I'm slightly more well known for, and has sort of carried through the years. My good friend Lowell Dean, he wrote and directed it, and I got to do the character design of the main werewolf cop. Um, and we did the first film, so we entered a big contest here in Canada called Cinecoup, and we won this contest. We got $1 million to make this movie,
damn,
and they provided basically promotional funding. It was an amazing experience because part of the budget, like a significant part of that budget, went to marketing the film. And I was invited by Lowell, my friend, and Cinecoup to basically do the makeup of Wolf Cop at fan expos across Canada. So we went to Toronto, we went to Calgary, we went to Vancouver, and the first year we were basically just pitching the idea. So we were still it's either we were pitching the idea or yeah, I think that's what it was. So as part of our promoting, we were like, we're going to go to Calgary and we're going to um, promote this. And I did up the main character, and it just happened to be a year that Richard was there and Weta was there in Calgary, and I got to show him some promotional material or something like that. And I didn't actually get to show him Wolfcock, but I got to
yeah,
say hello. Here's a badge. I made these custom little badges for promotion, and then we ended up winning the contest. We made the movie, and then we went back to Calgary the next year. That was the promotional side of it. And
Yeah.
Richard was there with Weta, and I actually got to bring Wolf Cop over to him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
basically, like, I'm waiting in line, and it was such a cute little moment because, you know, I'm standing there, like, being like, here's my hero. I can't wait to show him what I do. You know, even though it's this goofy werewolf, I was very honored to be there in his presence. And there's like, I think I remember there was like a 10-year-old kid who had made some sort of cardboard Transformers costume. And it was so beautiful to see, you know, I'm clearly there. Richard saw me, and he's like, hey, there's that guy who gave us that badge last year. And he just took all the time in the world to let this 10-year-old kid who was so excited that he built this cardboard costume, like, he was like, and what did you use? What kind of tape is that? And all this stuff. And I was just like, oh, man, this guy is just amazing. He just took the time to, you know, really give this kid this enthusiasm and this warmth of, you know, the stuff that I would have gotten as a kid, like, just from, you know, who knows if he's his idol or anything like that. But it was just so beautiful. And then I remember stepping in line afterwards and saying, hey, this is that guy I was telling you I was going to make. And he was very excited to see it. I was super, super stoked. And then I went back, you know, because there was a big lineup of kids. And I came back when the line was slower and had a chat with Richard and basically said, like, dude, I want to work with you or for you or go to Weta at some point.
Yeah.
And he said, here's my email address. You obviously, you know, love doing what you do and you love working on indie films and doing fun, creative things. And let's stay in touch. And I basically, from that point for about 3 months, bombarded him with, like, here's how I started. Here's what I'm working on now. Here's what I love doing. Here's sculptures. Here's all this kind of stuff. And I basically showed him that I'd, like, run a whole ton of indie horror movies, which is what I ended up getting to do. I grew up in Regina, Saskatchewan, in the middle of Canada, and we had this crazy influx of low-budget horror movies for this, like, 5-year window. And I got to do all of them because I was the only guy doing it. And I think he saw that and was like, this guy would be a nice fit to work on a project. And he didn't tell me that I'd be working on Krampus. He just sort of was like, come on down, see how we are, see how we like you. And then maybe we'll see if we got something for you. And I was like, I don't care. I'm coming to Weta. I'm super stoked. And then I flew out and worked with the molding department with Luke Hawker there, and had a blast making what was it, the Giants for the Te Papa Museum, which I'm sure you worked on as well. And that was an insane, amazing experience. And then after about a month of working there, I think I was kitted out in a bunch of fiberglass gear in the fiberglass room. And Richard showed up with Michael Dougherty and was like, him and Zach Shields, I guess, and he came in and he's like, Emersen, come here. And I'm like, oh, hey, Richard, what's up? And I'm just covered in fiberglass.
Yeah, man.
Standing around. And he's
That's
just like,
roll.
this is Michael Dougherty. I'm like, I know that name. And I didn't at the time say, like, from Trick or Treat, but I was like, I know that guy. And this is Zach Shields, and this is the director and basically one of the co-writers of Krampus. And then they turned around and looked at me, and they're like, and this is Emersen. He's going to be project managing Krampus. And I was just like, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Of course.
I was just like, okay, crazy. And that's how it started. And I got to, I still got to do some work with the molding department, but I basically jumped ship after being at Weta for about a month. And then I spent the rest of the 6-month period basically 5 months working on Krampus right up until the day before I left. So that's how it happened. I'm super grateful for all the random series of events that led me to getting to talk with Richard Taylor and his enthusiasm to just say, come on, try us out, and the rest is history. So it was a beautiful experience, and I met lots of amazing people, and I cherish it. It was truly amazing.
Yeah, that's how this industry kind of works. It's different. I mean, like, luck got elements to do with it, but you have to put yourself in the right position, the right place to get that lucky kind of strike. And like, once you get there, especially in front of Richard, you know, he tells me that he know in the first 3 seconds if he's going to hire you or not. You know, if you talk about your project and you haven't got that kind of twinkles in your eyes, he will not hire you. So obviously, like, and you said he's great. I mean, like, as you said, he will give a 10-year-old kid with a cardboard costume as much time, and he will give a professional makeup artist, you know, which is what I enjoy about his personality. This one time I was working in the cave on the stage during the tour that we do with Weta, and it was in the day I was about to go home, and Richard walked in with these 2 backpackers, I was like, oh, hi, Richard, how you going? Who are these guys? Oh, I saw him on the bus stop, it was raining, so I stopped getting a ride to town, and they recognized me, so they're a big fan of Weta. So he brought him back to the workshop and gave them a tour of the workshop, pretty much. That's the kind of guy he is. For being as high up he is, he's still as humble as the everyday guy. He's awesome dude.
They say don't meet your heroes, and when I did, I was just like, this guy is just so humble, so down to earth, but so excited about making stuff. Like, you get this energy that you're just like, oh yeah, I just gotta go succeed and be great and make stuff. It's very exciting. Yeah,
he's great at pushing you as well. If he see you have potential to go a bit further, he will give you a little nudge. Come on, that's cool, but you can make it better, which is really good. You could get that side look, you're like, that's not bad. Oh, here we go. I was going to say, which is cool. And you want to be pushed like that as an artist by someone. You don't want to get to a point where, it's good enough. Let's go with it. You want to, no, that's good, but why don't you try this? Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And like, your wolf cops thing look awesome. Like, I've seen bits of it, and
it's a fun, goofy film. Well, the two of them now that we've got two, and it's such a what a fun experience that was, and just no sleep for the whole length of those projects, but so much fun. And, that's part of enjoying what you do. You don't sleep, you don't rest, but you get to work with your friends, and you get to work on an amazing project that you just have fun doing, which is the best part about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I feel like Krampus turned out awesome, man. I mean, like, also being at the workshop and seeing all the creatures come to life one by one is really cool as well. And as you know, in the workshop, we always have to get people into a costume to take photos of all the costume. And one day I was asked to be one of the goats for the final scene, the sleigh.
Yeah.
But that was my first time ever in a costume at workshop. I was like, okay, cool, I'll give it a go. It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
There's 4 layers of like woolen. It was a lot of wool, a lot of material put on me. Yeah, it's cool. It's a bit hot. I got this. And then the big head came on afterwards. Oh my God. That was like, it's dark. I can't see. It's hot.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty intense, but it was so cool though. And then those hoof, you put those hoof on.
Yeah.
Obviously, the person who was made for had a shorter feet than I do. So my feet's a bit longer, so I had to curl my feet like this. Oh my God! No. I was like getting cramps, cramps.
Yeah, cramps.
It was fun though, man. I mean, like, I remember going to watch it, even though I know the creatures were coming, but it still gave me a fright.
Yeah.
Especially that the part underneath the car where the Jack in the Box came out. So here we go.
Oh,
it's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. When it did pop, oh shit! Damn it. But the most scariest creature you guys made was the Jack in the Box, when Howard just like just ate all those kids and just dancing on top of the sled. I was like, oh, this thing is creepy.
Yeah, I remember showing my daughter that stuff when at the time she was around 5 or 6, and I was like, check out, there's a cool behind the scenes feature of this movie, and she's like, oh, that's what you went to do in New Zealand. That's crazy. And then it cuts to some scene of the Jack in the Box swallowing a kid. Yeah, and she's just like, wait, what? And it was just so real, and it's just some kid getting sucked into this thing, and I was like, maybe we shouldn't watch this right now. And she's like, but that was fake, right? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, but it's eating a kid. And I'm like, oh man, like, yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah, exactly. But I think she can watch it now. She's almost 11, and we'll have to revisit it this holiday season.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like, I was funny when I asked you to be on this talk. I said, oh, Halloween's next week. It's like, this is like a perfect timing to get you talking about gory horror, and Halloween is coming.
Ah, yeah.
Really cool. Yeah. So obviously you work with Bryce, the legend.
Yes, himself. Yeah, Bryce is great.
He's an amazing dude. Like Teddy, it's extremely creepy, man, how he made that came to life.
He did such an incredible job, and like, it's so interesting going to Weta, where it was just like, I forget how like my brief for working there, but I think Richard basically just said like, you've got to kind of assemble a team, and you've been here for a month, and you got to find some people, and people just kind of like drifted into it, and like he never said like, here's your like Rob Gillies never said like, here's the people you can use. It was more like, if you can find people who have the time, you can. And Bryce was all over that. Like he was so into making puppets and problems, and he's such a brilliant man. Like he just he'll take just anything and turn it into a prototype that can be the next best thing, and then. I don't know, and he's got so much experience. I just, but he's so nice and quiet and modest and humble, and you're just kind of like, you turn around and he's got this incredible puppet thing built or a prototype, and you're just like, oh my god, I wish I had half the talent you do.
He's definitely a legend, that's for sure. I'm lucky enough to work really closely with Bryce. Obviously, Bryce worked in the same department as I do, and he worked much opposite my desk, so we always spend a lot of time together.
Oh, that's great.
And I always tease him, hey Bryce, are you retiring yet?
I hope he never retires. Man, that guy's great. Yeah.
He's not going anywhere, that guy. He's going to be there forever.
Yeah.
Obviously, oops, my bad. Dropped
nice ceiling, by the way. That's good.
Thank you. And the room's almost done.
Nice.
Anyway, also you could work with Flo as well. She was pretty cool.
Oh, Flo was incredible. Yeah, she was. Well, I mean, she was all like anything to do with Krampus's outfit, which was just a monumental task. I mean. As far as I can recall, she took, I think it was like one theater curtain, which by itself I think weighed something like 60 pounds, or I don't know what that translates into kilos for you guys, but and she took probably half of it. I think at the end of the day that costume weighed 33 pounds or something, and all out of one giant piece of curtain fabric that she aged and broke down and then stuck together, and it was incredible. It was unbelievable. Yeah,
she gave a talk about 2 Sundays ago, and she mentioned that her hands got totally screwed from doing all the hand sewing on that costume. But she said she had the best time, and she loved it.
Yeah.
But as I said, you have to suffer for your art, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, you got to push through, and it was great too because then she got to carry, and a lot of the people got to carry through right on the set, and she basically supervised his dressing and maintaining that suit and making sure everything was buckled in. And she was, I mean, I not only got to work in the workshop, but I got to work on set supervising as well. And she was just a pleasure to work with because she's a very, very quick problem solver. And she's got so many years of experience doing fabrication, wardrobe work, and just the most beautiful stitching, and everything that she does is incredible. And I know that you two have done quite a few talks together, right? Like you've
we've been to Switzerland a few times together. We went to Basel. It's really cool place to be.
Cool.
Yeah, man, I mean, like working on set is such a different world than working in the workshop. It's such a different pace of working, but it's so cool though. It's good to see something you made in the workshop and then come to life on set, I guess. Like almost seeing your baby growing up and going to the world.
Absolutely. And on Krampus, it was, I mean, like in Saskatchewan growing up, we do have a sound stage there, and it's rarely used anymore, but we had some cool sets. Usually, like, I think the biggest, neatest set I ever was on was in a basement, concrete, old abandoned, nothing crazy. I mean, it was beautiful, but nothing too crazy. And then to go to, the Kong stages and see like an entire snowy street set or the giant hell pit that they built for the end of Krampus. It was like, I'm here right now. Aside from being, plus 30 degrees, I am here right now. Yeah. And I can't see the walls. Like, it's just, it was with all the snowman and all that stuff. Yeah. It was incredible. And,
I remember you made those snowman. That was quite funny.
I mean, I did some of the maquettes and stuff, and I think most of that was, I think Alex, right? He carved it. Yeah. And it was a big teamwork, and Sean Foote, he did all that, like the tying of he made them look so gnarly. Like I remember we just wanted branches on them, but he was tying together like with lashing and stuff, and just made them look like sinewy and ropey and really, really gnarly. And they were really cool. And then we draped fabric, and I think man, it was so much fun. Such a cool experience.
Yeah, that's what I find about working at Weta. There's so much knowledge there, but they are so willing to share all the information with you, which is really cool.
Oh yeah.
There's some people like they keep simple, open and sharing, like continue their knowledge, passing down to the next generation. It's really cool.
Absolutely.
Also, we can't talk about Krampus without we're talk about Krampus himself, Mr. Luke Hawker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must be pretty hot in that costume, wearing it and moving it
Oh, he was a trooper for it. I mean, it's amazing. He's a very strong, agile, athletic person. I remember. I mean, probably not going to do him justice here, but he's does martial arts, and he's a very good dancer, from what I can recall. I think him and I were always jamming out to really good disco hits and stuff. And most of the other old guys were into the heavy metal, that kind of stuff. But he's definitely a shaker and a mover, and he having to lift and lug that suit around on the stilts. I really got to hand it to him because it's such a mental mind game to basically just endure it as long as till they call a cut, and then you can sort of collapse and fall, and just relax. And he never. I think there was like one time where it was like he was like, I can't do that. Like there was like a moment where he was trying to, I think, coming out of the
fire,
fireplace. Where it was just a bit of a logistical nightmare. Him and somebody else was playing the other hand.
Would be Kate? Was it Kate? Kate,
yeah, Venables, Kate. Yeah. And just coordinating that, and it was so tricky because Luke typically had his monitor, and we just had to rehearse it a bunch of times, and he got it, and it looked amazing. And but 99% of that film, he just toughed it out, and he does stunt work as well too. So he was very, very humble about that, his sort of upbringing in that, and I think he explained to me at one point, like, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. You're doing it, and you just got to push through it and push through the pain, and it shows on film. Like, it looks amazing, and the movement and the fluidity of this, this person that's, he's about half the physical mass of this giant suit that we built on his frame, and just looks big and lumbering and flowing and just really creepy, and he really sells it. Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah, I remember seeing one of the behind the scenes footage of Luke inside the suit, and you see in his face, how much expression, how much effort he put into making that suit move, and and then see the suit in real life, like, oh my god, that seems heavy. Damn.
Yeah, it was so weird because I remember from the gate, like the first thing I started on that was starting to carve and build the frame, and you think this will be fine, and then you go, oh well, that's on here too. Okay, and then that's a bit heavier. Okay, and then I think at one point Sean Foote basically took everything that I built and basically reinforced all of it, and it was like, this is all right, but you gotta make this stronger. And then we had, I think,
Sean with his great voice, like real like.
Oh, he's got a beautiful voice. It's just this beautiful, nice, deep voice, and then I'm trying to remember all the names. But engineering basically took it and built
Joel.
Joel, he made this custom frame that went inside it, and basically was kind of like a camera rig. Those cranes you see. It's not a steady cam, but basically a bungee cord that hangs a camera that we had holding the head. And now in retrospect, thinking, I wonder if we would have just bought one of those. We could have just used that as a backpack. But you say la vie. You build it. You can reflect on it all you want, but it ultimately worked out great. And I can't think of it like too many pitfalls that we had as far as dealing with the suit and problem solving, because it all came together and it survived the whole show. And I assume it's somewhere in the front office of somewhere now, just in all its glory being displayed. So
it's quite cool for Flo, because we've been to Switzerland for our first year. Since like it was 19. So it was like 2018, I think, and the group there made the actual Krampus costume as a cosplay.
Oh right, I think I saw that. Yeah.
I'm sure we tag you in it, and for her to see that, she was pretty stoked. I mean, like, how much care those guys did to make sure that costume looked as good as it did on the screen. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was bloody amazing. Yeah, it's so cool when you get to see something that you worked on. Like, I think I ordered one of those, like the Krampus teddies, because I did puppeteering for him on the set, and I ordered one. I was like, oh my god, I have a toy version of something that I helped make, and it's just so neat to see that, and, or when people do cosplay of Wolf Cop every once in a while, I'm like, this is amazing. People are into this crazy thing that we built and whatever.
It just shows how much how good a job you guys did. To people take their time and the money and the effort to recreate your creation.
Oh yeah, and get inspired by it. Like that's the most important thing, is seeing somebody see something and going, I'm going to invest a bunch of energy, learn a bunch of skills, learn about materials, and build something super cool and learn a whole bunch. And I find that so magical. I just love that about like cosplay and just making like costumes and cool stuff. So
I mean, that's how we all start. We all start from having inspiration for something we've seen or hear,
yeah,
and we just must give it a go. And that's how the industry works. People ask me all the time, how do I get into the film industry? I just say, just find something you enjoy doing and just go for it,
absolutely. Yeah. It's such a good point. It's like I've talked to a lot of like ex makeup effects school students who are just like, well, now what do I have to do? It's like, don't stop. Just keep making stuff, man. Like, just build, learn stuff,
Yeah.
fail a ton. Like failing is super important, and build up a portfolio and get into, and then just find something you really love doing and maybe zero in on that, and then try something else and just be diverse and figure stuff out. It's awesome.
I always say, like, don't just narrow your field to one thing, because I would say, look, when Weta it's an amazing place to be, but you don't want to just cater yourself for us. You want to just keep making cool things. You just never know what's gonna pop up in the world. Just keep making cool things.
Absolutely, yeah. Because then that's one thing that I found really nice about Weta was there were certainly point people and people who were department heads that also had, within their own rights, specialized jobs and abilities. But it sounded like, and it certainly felt like from what I was witnessing and getting to see while I was there, that they also nurtured a sense of, if you want to learn about some of the digital, or if you want to learn about this, we want to keep people stimulated and happy to be here. And I certainly got that sense, even though I was supervising a broader escape of things. But it was just beautiful in that respect. And obviously, you're going to bring in your people just for specific shows and specific purposes. But I imagine, and what I've heard is it certainly cultivates a world of creativity first. That's and then if you're tenacious and you can stick with it, then there you go. So, yeah.
I mean, like, it's the whole thing of you have to give it a go. That's how life is. I mean, like, that's how I got into costume in the first place. And obviously, I started off in the paint department when I first came to Weta. And I dabble with cosplay here and there. Obviously, I made a whole airborne dwarf armor out of black foam.
Yeah, so good.
After pestering Bryce about the material. Yeah. And then one day before I went to America, I saw Power Ranger concept in Rob's office. And I was like, oh, are we making Power Rangers? He said, yeah, man, we could be. I was like, being cheeky, or when I come back, can I go in the costume and give it a go? Just asked a cheeky question. You might get a no, but we'll see how we go. And I came back to the workshop after a month away, and I told to go to see Bryce and get started working on Power Rangers. That was pretty cool,
So good, man. So good.
Yeah, I mean, that's how life works. You have to see something you want to try. You have to put your best foot forward. You never know until you try it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I always say to people as well, as you said before, have your passion, and you find people around you who have the same passion and work together.
Yeah.
It's what you did for your, Wolf Cop. You found a bunch of guys who are passionate about horror, about making a movie, and just go for it. Don't wait for people to come to you with a project. You have to make your own projects.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really tricky balance too, though. I mean, once you start scaling up and adding that level of, it's got to be done within $1 million bracket, you're kind of like, well, we may have to bring some other people along who aren't necessarily creature makers and that kind of thing. But we were very fortunate with that. And but yeah, like, surround yourself with people who dig the same stuff you do, and just thrive off that. Like, I feel like I've done that my whole life, and now I'm working in a shop where there's upwards of 20 to 25 people who are incredible, talented artists who amaze me daily with the cool, crazy skills that they have, and it just drives me to be like, oh, we got to just keep making cool stuff. This is just the best.
I mean, every day I'll be on social media and I'm seeing people who do such amazing costume, and they've been doing it for a year and a half. Like, what? It's like, but it's because there's so much resource out there now. If you want to do something, you go to YouTube, the place to go, and you talk to people. There's no excuse to not make cool things anymore, and you see people they just run with it, which is so cool.
Yeah, it is. I don't regret anything in my life, but I feel like if I got to start over, being alive right now with the resources, I feel like I mean, I was making prosthetics in like one of the first films I ever did, just using latex and silicone caulking to fill them, and then gluing that to myself and to friends and being like, it's rubber, sure. It looks like a wound. I don't know, you know, and not, you know, and it smells like vinegar because it's just acidic, like, but now you can go online and learn how to make transfers and silicone encapsulated prosthetics, like no problem. And you just order the supplies and make them. And obviously you got to practice and train it, but like, man, people these days have a lot of information at their fingertips, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, it's crazy how like, you know, the gap between the industry and just the normal maker has really closed up a lot from technology and from knowledge being shared, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love that the sharing of knowledge is. I've never been guarded with the stuff I know, and I feel like I'm learning every day, so I don't ever feel like, oh, I know that one thing. There are a couple things that I've learned how to build and make where I'm like, that's my baby. But I'll still show people how they work that I work with because I want them to know how to service it and work on it and fix it, and also just to like get the knowledge out there because it's really not some proprietary bit of information that you can like. It's your nuanced skill that really makes it good, you know. Unless you've discovered some magical formula of glue or something, I don't think it's that. You know, if they don't have the initiative to do it, then whatever. You know, you just share the knowledge, man. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Oh, it's about nurture the next generation. We don't want to lose the handmade crafting quality of our industry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying that 3D printers and CNC machines are not good. They're great, but you want to have the base knowledge of how to do things with your hands as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And 90% of the time, you're post-treating all that stuff anyways. As I'm sure you know, you're taking a 3D print and you're sanding it up, polishing, or sculpting on top of it, or you know, utilizing it for this, that, and the other thing. But the more knowledge you have, and the more technology you can work with and play with, it just complements every aspect of the art. It's really, really cool.
I guess the big difference between us and the makers is the experience that we have and experience that surrounds us pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
So we're lucky to have people we can call on with questions, you know, which they do too, but we have it more to our fingertip. Like for Weta, instance, you know, we have pretty much the whole shop does everything from design to post, you know, collectibles and stuff like that. So if you get stuck on an idea, you can always ask someone for their perspective as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That it's a really important thing that you say is that being surrounded with the experience and it just being at your fingertips. And I know that like the world is more connected in a way than it's ever been. Like the way that we can just talk from across the world, you know. But there is certainly that there's two things that I find. It's beautiful to be stuck in a box and to be innovative based on the challenges that you have. Because you can like discover and create techniques just because all you have are these 5 different products. Whereas, you know, now that I'm at a level I'm at, I work at a shop where I can just sort of go, oh, I want to try that and that and this, and let's see if it works, you know, because it just happens to be there. You know, it's like a kid in a candy store. And I'm very grateful for that experience. But also, you know, I love that innovation that comes out of like the limitations of an early learner or somebody who's just in their garage building and has no other people to really like physically communicate with in that way. So cool.
We go to convention, I still love seeing the cardboard costumes.
Oh, so good.
The mum or dad has built the weekend before for the kid to wear for the convention. For me, that's still where the passion starts, you know, from the parents, you know, taking the everyday object and just build something for the kid to wear. For me, that's still beautiful to see.
Oh, it's amazing. And speaking of the cardboard, you know, your sort of like exploration suits, your space suits you guys were building. I don't know if that was a class or what that was. It's just gorgeous.
That's a class. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. But there was a class I've been teaching at Tuifakari. So it's like a New Zealand drama school, which is based in Wellington.
Yeah.
Also, they do acting, dancing, and all this kind of stuff, but they have a costume and set department as well. So I've been teaching the first year sets and prop class, and they want to make something kind of prototypey, and they want to use foam. Then I was like, you know, but most of these students haven't done any foam work before. Why don't we start with cardboard?
Yeah.
Because cardboard is, you know, so easy to find, it's nice and cheap, and it's really quick to mock something up and they did beautiful work. I mean, like from the first day, they had no idea what to do until like after a couple of days, had something that's pretty cool prototype for their foam work. It's really good.
Yeah, they looked incredible, and it's like you could potentially just take those cardboard suits, cover them in some auto body resin, and you could be doing snaps off that and running light foam copies or whatever. But then you guys took those as a template to make into a foam version, correct? Is that how you did it?
So basically, it was it's for marking. We have obviously we want to do individual marking and kind of a group work, kind of how you work as a group as well. So. So what I did was, okay, we'll spend the first 3 days, make your own individual suit. And then we'll do like an actual film, like a film job. So, okay, the directors come in, look at all your suit, and we'll do like a shopping list. Oh, that one's quite cool. That part's quite cool. That part's quite cool. Yeah. And we put it all together, to make, 3 hero suits. So I try to keep it as real world as I can for the students to understand how things work in the workshop. The actual head of the department, he was like the art director. He'll come in, he will say, okay, that's cool, that's not, that's cool. And their job is to take his feedback and then, take all their 7 suits and turn it into 3, which is really cool. So I get them as much real world knowledge as I can for them to,
That's such a fantastic idea, because that's such a good thing to teach people. Is that I think one thing that I certainly love to emphasize when there's a new person that works at our shop or something is the never forget how important the journey is and your effort and working on a project is and what you learn, but be so ready for spending 2 months on a thing and for somebody to just say, oh, we don't need that anymore. Yeah. And it's like, what? You know what I mean? And it's like, you mean all the stuff I invested in? It's like, well, it's beautiful, it's great, I'm glad you learned a lot of that stuff, but we are doing a different direction, or it's now digital, or it's not a robot, it's a car. And you're just like, oh, okay. And then what you just got to do is go, I learned a lot, and some great, photos of my work, and if you're allowed to do that, and there you go. But I love that you've taken aspects of different suits that were preferred, and then you sort of amalgamate those. That's beautiful. That's like the George Lucas approach of just having a wall full of like, that, and he's literally looking at 4 months of work by 20 different people, and he's just like, those 4, thanks, gotta go by. And you're just like, all right, cool, sweet.
Yeah, but what I try to install them is just like everyone have their own different ideas, and obviously most of us will think our idea is the best idea, but then you see your friends make something with the same idea, same base idea, but they have such different approach to it. Yeah, I want to teach them how to learn off each other. Yeah, so don't be stuck in your own bubble and do your own ideas. Go around the room and see what other people are doing, and you want to take inspiration from that person, and you want to use it in your own project as well.
Yeah, I work with an amazing person, Toby Lindala, the guy who runs or owns the shop that I work at, and he has a very similar approach where he will create a thing and he'll sculpt the makeup or something, and he'll just sort of talk to everybody and ask what they think about it, and go around to other people and see what they do, and I really admire his approach to just listening to input and listening to people's opinions and going, oh well, no, I mean, I'm not married to this, like, what do you guys think? What does the team think of this? I know that we're all working together, and he has the ultimate say, but basically being able to just be so open, because you know how it is. You get locked into your little project, and all you do is stare at it for a week, and you can't not see it for what you think it is. And then somebody goes, that's weird, and you go, wait, no, it isn't. Oh, you're right, dang. And then you go, oh, you know what, this is really good, then I'm showing it to the world. And it's sometimes very nerve-wracking for people to do that and take opinions.
Yeah, it's hard not to be precious about something you worked on for like weeks or months and months.
Absolutely.
As I say to the students, it's always towards the end of the day, they're always trying to rush it to get it done. Yes. I said, no, don't rush it, because you come in tomorrow, you will regret it.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't cut that piece off now when you're trying to do it before you have to go home. Yeah. Leave it, do it tomorrow, because so many times you rush it and you cut it, and you come back tomorrow and both sides are uneven. It's that experience that you get for you try and get stuff done quick and you rush it and you're like, oh my god, why did I do that for?
Yeah, it's but sometimes you don't get that when it's literally due. as the driver's waiting at the front door for that piece
Yeah.
you're trying to finish, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just throw some glue on there and get it out. But yeah, that's important. What's the format of those classes? Do you guys have a block of time, like a 4-hour window, and then you come back the next day, or how does that work?
So basically, like this class, I did pretty much like it was 9 to 4 every day. So I had Tuesday to Thursday with them
Oh,
for
that's
2
awesome.
weeks.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy having the full day with them.
Yeah.
Where in the past I used to do just the mornings or just the afternoon for the whole week. For me, it's like 3 hours is not enough time to really get stuff done because you just start to warm up.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's like when you're doing a sport, you warm up, you run around, you stretch. That's 3 hours, and then you spend the last 3 hours really smashing and getting into it. So I really enjoy having a full day with the students to give them time to warm up, get the ideas, get their brain working, get their hands working, and then you spend the last 3 hours and just really get into it. And what I like to do is I don't like to show them too much.
Yeah.
I like them to like explore by themselves and then come to me with, okay, I try this, doesn't work, how do I fix it?
Yeah.
Rather than me saying, okay, this is how we make tubing for this. This is how we make a backpack. I said, you guys, go for it. I'll be here. I'll walk around and say, like, oh, that's cool, but why don't you try this? But I don't like to teach them or clone them to be like me, because the way I think, what they think is different.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really important for the students to make, as you said, make mistakes. And sometimes you make those happy mistakes. Like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Exactly.
That happened, but I'll roll with it. That's my goal. That's how I teach anyway.
That's fantastic. Yeah, letting them grow and discover on their own, and then just augmenting and editing and that way. Yeah.
It's not. I mean, like, like some classes, we're making this design, this mask. For me, there's no growth in that. You want to make a mask and let them explore. They just go for it, man. Because for me, I learn from them too. There's certain techniques that they use that I never thought about doing.
Yeah.
Because they come on it with such a fresh mind. Where with us, we already have our process down already, so we don't think about a different way. But for me, seeing someone who have no idea how to use, doing prototypes, seeing them doing differently, actually that's quite good. Why didn't I think of that? So
Absolutely.
So it's a two-way learning process. I'm teaching them and I'm learning from them as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it gives me time to explore too, where, as you know, we in the workshop, you have a deadline, so you don't have much time to really experiment. But in those classes, when the students come with their like issues, it gives me time to experiment as well, which is really good. Yeah,
it's tricky that that sort of creative hurdle you have to jump over between real projects.
My iPad, my arm's getting sore. You see it?
Are you holding the phone the whole time?
Yeah, because my last stand broke, so I was like, let's try something different. So I got this made. Today we'll go behind it.
Amazing.
My arms are being sore. There we go. Let's try
Just give me 1 second.
There we go. Oh, that's better. Yep, too high. There we go. There we go. Oh, it was a good workout though. It's my workout.
You just got one just massive pipe, and the other one is just
one
like
whole,
it's a little stand.
That's much better. Yeah. So it's like it's quite funny where teachings now is kind of like taking over. I really enjoy teaching now.
Yeah.
Like I never thought of myself to be able to teach people, but like obviously like I enjoy working with people, but to teach them, like she told me like 3 years ago, I'll be teaching and be like, nah, get lost. I'm not, there's no way I can be in front of the class then. But it's so much fun. I mean, have you done some teaching yourself as well? Have you like run classes?
I've taught a few sort of makeup effects specialized courses back in Regina. I was asked by a company called Style Academy that teaches beauty, and they do some specialized makeup effects courses. I love it. I love learning from and talking with students. It's something I'd love to get into someday. Right now, it's I obviously have a different role, but I love the challenge of knowing an idea and a process and trying to help somebody understand it and grow through it. The same way, like as I'm teaching my kids stuff, or anybody, or friends or anything, basically helping them grasp a concept. And I love that challenge. And like you're describing, it's very fun. And I do it often at work. It's more so I'm just like, I've got an idea from a director or a specific direction, and they say, the people who work with me suggest a thing, and I go, well, maybe this, maybe that. Oh, but you don't need to know this information. And it's very challenging to try to get on the same page, especially if those people aren't in that same production meeting, even if they are. There's so much interpretation that happens. But I do really enjoy the idea of teaching and learning, and I'd love to do it someday, maybe as to augment my career. But it's a very fun thing to do.
It's so rewarding. You see someone who struggle. You have students who for the first hour or the first 2 hours, they cannot get their mind around the process, and then you see them at the end of the process absolutely killing it. You like go, we had one student on this class, and I tell him, you remember the first day? I said, you were like just throwing cardboard everywhere because you could not get the shape to work, and look at you now, ripping into it. Is, for me, that's probably the best reward you can get of a class, seeing someone who struggle, who just want to give up, but they power through it, and they manage to just totally ace it right at the end. That's really cool.
Oh, that's the most satisfying thing ever. When you're like, if you just stick with it, here's a cool thing you can do, and when you learn it, it's gonna click. And when they learn that, it's just like this aha, like, oh my god, how have I not? How is it not that obvious? And that is really magical. Yeah, I love that.
I mean, I like to use the drawing kind of like situation. When you draw something, the first kind of like 40% of your drawing is always really bad because you just done the structure. Make some sculpting as well. You just put in the base, you put in the lines, you start doing a bit of blocking, and you're like, oh my god, that looked terrible. But then when you start putting all those blocks together, all the detail, that's when you're like, oh my god, this is working. That's how I see with prop making or costume making as well, because you spend the first 40% doing the foundation. Then once you start putting all the cool bits on, that's when you get to have fun.
Yeah, that's such an interesting thing, because it's that even like with sculpting or really any part of the process, it's until you've made the mistakes and built the thing and seen, oh, that's where it ends up. All of those rough stages just feel so wrong to people who don't do that kind of work. But then eventually there's this click that happens where it's like, oh yeah, I just got to power through the broad strokes, power through the refining, power through this, and then it's going to be like finished pour texture, and you're like, oh, there it is. But you really have to go on that journey 100 times before it sinks in, and you're like, I know the process. This feels right. This is good. Okay, I know where I'm going to end up. And that's so cool.
I mean, I say it's all about getting your process down. Everyone have their own, where they start and where they finish. Yeah. As long as you have that down, you can use it for anything. You use for drawing, use for sculpting, for costume props making. It's all the same. Pretty much all the same formula, minus a few more ingredients in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, is there any project that you would love to work on? That, if you have a dream, oh, this one go here. Here you go. This your 10 million. You can make whatever you like.
I mentioned Lowell Dean earlier in the podcast, and he's one of my probably my creative counterpart. Like, he's a writer-director who wrote and directed Wolf Cop 1 and 2, and my dream is to basically just do all of his projects, and to he's got about 4 or 5 incredible scripts that he's been workshopping and promoting and making, and that's my dream, is to just build and make his stuff. I love doing what I do for Lindell Schmink and Effects, but hopefully through that business I can facilitate and make everything for him, because he's I often make the joke that Emersen is like 3M for Lowell. Like, I don't make the product, I just make it better. He'll be like, oh, and he just rips his head off, and I'm like, what? Maybe he does something different, and he's like, that's way cooler, and we complement each other so well, and that's my dream, is to if you gave me $50 million right now, I would go make 5 of his movies with him and say, here's the money, just go for it. Obviously, I'd put my kids through college and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like, it's a no-brainer. He's got these amazing projects that, from like kids shows, a puppet show called Booligans that we're doing, to the Atomic Victory Squad. I'm sure you recall that I promised you some badges that I still have sitting in a box, labeled Spicy Thai. But I have a bunch of stuff. At some point, I'm going to send to New Zealand to everybody there. So I'm going to lump it all in there and make sure it gets to you. But so from Atomic Victory Squad, and we have. Do you mind if I plug something while I'm on here?
Yeah, you go for it, man. This you do what you want. You go for it.
Yeah. So we have 5 issues all done now. So that's a full arcing series, which we're very, very excited about. It's a project that Lowell's been trying to make like for half of his life, and one day I said, hey, let's make our own IP, because we want to make stuff for Wolf Cop, but we technically don't own it. And he came up with the Atomic Victory Squad, and people love it. And it's a full arcing 5 issue story. It's going to come out as a graphic novel with bonuses this coming spring. We're going to launch it at Fan Expo in Vancouver here, and that's one little aspect of something I get to work on. I'm more of a creative consultant and merchandising, but I'm going to invest as much time and money as I can into this project because I believe in it, and it's so fun, so funny, and it's different. It's not your typical superhero story. It's very wacky and weird. So there's that, and I know that's not exactly what you asked me, but I thought
no, that's fine. They worked out perfectly, because for me that's more. You already started. That's there, and that sounds really cool. So that definitely make way more better answer. I mean, like I'm in the same way. I mean, like obviously, like with us during a baby coming pretty soon, I feel like also my Thai heritage. Now I've been on this roller coaster with the whole spicy Thai thing for about 10 years now. And like when I first started, obviously grew up watching Lord of the Rings, and I always enjoyed the way that John Howard, Alan Lee, Richard, and Peter kind of told a story. And and during the time where I started to wanting to research more about my Thai heritage, obviously like being born in Thailand but coming here now, as a Kiwi, I was trying to go online to find some stories. When I was younger, my grandma used to tell me stories, like little nursery rhyme, little Thai myth, as I was going to bed. But I couldn't find anything online. There's nothing new online at all, and like nothing on YouTube. So I thought, now that I have the knowledge that I know for the past 10 years, and I've started able to make my own costume, something like that, and I have connections with people who can help me, why don't I start to make my own like a web series of telling Thai stories? So that's for me right now. It's been kind of my passion. Obviously, with us having our own baby as well, so it's for me it's the way to tell her the stories of her Thai heritage as well. So it's become more of a push to get that kind of thing going. So that's going to be my big project for next year, trying to get all the concept, trying to get all the connections that I can to hopefully make these things finally happen. So it's quite exciting as well to do that. I mean, that's scary, but it's going to be cool.
That's so good, man. That's so exciting. Yeah. It's so nice to have a project that you don't have, I don't know what your timeline is, but just to have it there and always be able to pick away at it when you have the time and the motivation, and with it always looming over your shoulder, it's just like, yes, I can always go back to that thing. I can rediscover it. I can push through it and just make it my own and make it special. And that's really special, man. That's super cool. Yeah,
it's really cool. I mean, like, I always want to do it, but also when you first start, I didn't have the knowledge of how to make the armor. Or I didn't have the knowledge to how to draw the armor the way I see my head to have it on paper. I don't have the technique. And then now with my years of Weta and all the time that many people that I've met, I feel like I have the tools in my toolbox to finally make this a reality, which is really cool. And I feel like this is probably the perfect time to do it. So that's my goal for the next couple of years, to get this going and
that's great.
Hopefully have something out.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been almost an hour, and it's been good, catching up with you. And
that's been wonderful. I'm amazed we haven't done this sooner, especially during COVID. But I feel like this is a perfect time, and I'd love to do it again if you ever will have me. So.
Always. If you have any updates on your project, let's talk about it and carry on. It'd be quite cool.
Absolutely. Maybe if anybody tunes into what I do, they'll be able to see. I'm hoping this happens. I shouldn't promise that this will happen, because oftentimes I work on Halloween, but there's just a light little preview of Halloween makeup I'm doing on myself. And that's it. That's all you're going to see. You'll see it on Instagram, and I'm gonna do some dentures and stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
That's my plan. But,
Yeah, man. You guys want to learn some cool, like, gory Halloween makeup? Definitely check it out. I mean, like, I say, I was lucky enough. It's perfect timing that I reached out to you, and it's Halloween next week. This is a perfect time to get Emersen on this little live show of mine. And yeah, once again, thanks for coming on, and it's nice chatting with you. It's been so long since we caught up, and good to hear that you're still doing well and really having fun.
Likewise, man. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Awesome, man. You keep safe, and we'll catch up again soon.
You too. Cheers, man.
Yeah, man. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. And he's off. Awesome, guys. Thank you for watching that. Sorry, the camera kind of flipped on us. I lost the stand. But yeah, it was great catching up with Emersen and to hear he's still doing well over there. And yeah, looking forward to seeing his Halloween mask being made and all the projects that he's got on. Looking to see that come to life as well. Hope you guys have a good day. We're going to go do some stuff now, and we'll catch you again next time. All right, see ya.